before we do that, can we say salud?
Oh, yeah.
Salud.
Cheers.
Salud.
Salud.
Yes.
Thank you,
Let's
Nurtai,
drink
for
to this.
having us.
To the
Thank you,
very
Nurtai.
cool podcast ever recorded.
Yeah, no, this is awesome. And before we even move to that for Nurtai's audience, maybe we should like just say who we are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
You wanna
like,
introduce yourself?
Yeah, maybe introduce ourselves.
Yeah, let's do that.
Yeah, starting with you, babe.
I'm Kenzie, girl who moved to US 6 years ago, not knowing any English at all. But the reason I learned English because I wanted to fight with my husband. At that time, boyfriend. Because not knowing English, and when I was over there with Hektor, my English was so poor. Я не знала английского вообще абсолютно. Мой английский был до такой степени плохой, что каждый раз, когда у нас происходили такие аргументы, у меня не было возможности ругаться с ним. Потому что у меня английский был недостаточно хороший. Я просто приходила домой и говорила, так неправильно, нечестно, что я не могу высказаться все, что я хочу, потому что я обижена, я хочу это сказать. И потом я сказала себе, все, я буду учить английский сейчас, чтобы я могла ругаться правильно с Гектором и высказывать все мои недовольствия.
I don't know what you said, but I agree.
Он говорит, я не важно, что ты сказал, но я
Do you have any
соглашаюсь.
choice?
I don't want to get hit today.
Not at all.
Oh, okay.
Each other.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you?
Yeah. So everyone's. I'm Hector Skanga. I was born in the U.S. in California and grew up in Tijuana and San Diego, and yeah, I'm just another regular guy that got married with a Kazakh woman, and we got married in Aktau, in Kazakhstan. Brought my family over from Tijuana and from San Diego to Aktau.
Okay.
We got married and had a beautiful wedding. Very different from traditional Kazakh wedding.
Okay.
So there was more. We brought the environment that normally people get married over there, right? In Kazakhstan with a lot of cheers, like a lot of toast.
Yeah.
Right, and they sit up and down, up and down,
Yeah.
and we cut it 90% of the toast.
You did?
Yeah, so it was crazy
How
because
did you
there was an argument
How did you
about
accomplish that? That's the
Well,
Okay, here's the...
she could say it.
I'm
better.
gonna jump on this. My dad, he has several brothers, but he's one of the oldest ones. And I told my dad, you know what?
Big guy.
Dad, Papa, I have been... You might dreamed about having a wedding that you pay for in Zatu, whatever. But I said, Dad, this is the time that your daughter tells you, I pay for the wedding. Your daughter and son-in-law will pay for the wedding. When we pay for our wedding, it means we put our own rules.
Okay.
So the rules were, we don't do like 100,000 toasts, which is like normal in Kazakhstan. I said I'm sorry, Papa, you gotta have to talk to all your relatives and tell them, I'm sorry, you might not gonna get to say toast. My kids deciding it, that's it. So there's gonna be only 4 toasts in the whole wedding, and that's it. Whoever could be able to say will say. Whoever, no one is in charge of saying who's gonna say what.
there was a lot of argument over that, especially when the elders wanted to say a couple of words, but we did at the end, very end. We were like, okay, if you want to say a couple of things, like everyone was up there, you know.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, what we did, and honestly, it worked out so good because everyone get to enjoy their time. Everyone was doing nothing but partying during the wedding, dancing, and there was competitions and games and
Nice.
everything.
And the band that we
Oh
got,
my goodness.
they asked me for
Spanish music.
five songs that we wanted to listen to.
Okay.
And I gave them rock in Spanish.
Okay.
Songs, and they memorized the words and they sang in Spanish. It was
It was a
phenomenal.
real band.
It sucks that we don't. I don't even remember the name of the band. What was the name of the band? Iran.
It's like Iran, like
Ayran.
kefir,
Ayran. Mhm.
but Iran, yeah, bigger.
Dude,
Like it's
Ayran.
like a
Ayran.
so.
That day
so
we wanted to give them
that
like a
band
good tip, but they
was
left.
so-
I
we didn't even
have
get
we didn't even get to say thank you.
Did they do a good job?
Oh, phenomenal job,
they
dude!
did
Look,
amazing
as soon as they played the first song,
They had, like,
we freaking my brothers, everyone from my family just got up and started heading to the dance floor, and we were just partying. It was just, dude, it was really
it
good.
was amazing.
Yeah, it was amazing.
So, so you gave them like what is it, like a video or something so they can actually listen to it, right?
No.
No, we
No,
give
we-
them the
Just the
name of the song and the
artist?
and that's
and
it.
that's it. They
Wow.
memorized.
They had to find
They
it.
probably did.
Luckily,
Probably they
we
listened
have
because they
YouTube
needed to get that,
and-
you know,
yeah.
flavor.
Oh,
We'll
they
be
did
able to.
amazing.
They I don't know how they did it, but they memorized the. It's like I don't understand. It's like Kenzie Akinje. She reads in Spanish really good, but she doesn't know what she's saying.
Yeah.
But she reads it really good. I was very impressed. I don't know the Russian or Kazakh alphabet, so I cannot.
It's because I took Spanish classes before
Yeah.
I moved to
No.
US.
Yeah, she cheated.
I think like Kazakh language, like the way we speak it, is like so, I would say, fluid. You can adapt. Like have you listened to like this K-pop singers in Kazakh? You cannot distinguish whether they're singing in Kazakh or in Korean.
It's hard to understand.
Yeah, because
though.
they adapt their language like it's Korean. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So fluid, you know, like the language. I never expected that before.
I agree
Like
with
Kazakh language is so melodic and fluid. We can adapt pretty much any style. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, because you guys use a lot of your the tongue is
Yeah.
what gives the the
Yeah,
yeah, yeah, you know,
Yeah,
in
yeah.
Spanish is and so because you guys have more movement in the tongue, that's the reason you guys could pronounce a lot of the words. For me, going from Spanish, even though I use my tongue to speak a lot of use my tongue to like, for example, to roll my R's, you know, something in English we don't have. I am able to say a couple of words, and it's, even though I do that, it's hard for me to speak Kazakh. For Kenzie, anything I say, she could repeat it like that, fast, you know. And I think even the little girls, when I say something, they could speak it like that, you know. And that's because Kazakh is.
Can I
is
say
really,
something interesting
really
from
hard.
my back when I was a child? So when I was a baby, my mom took me to the daycare, which was Russian, and then maybe weeks after my mom took me to my dad's relative's place, and I'm like a Russian girl, like da 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 da, all in Russian, like blah 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 blah, and my dad's sister's like, what the hell? Why are you not teaching your daughter Kazakh? What the hell? She's like Russian. She's really talking Russian. Okay. My mom's like, okay, I think I have to put her in a Kazakh group. So
Okay.
she transferred me to the Kazakh group. 2 weeks later, I'm talking nothing but Kazakh, and I go again into the same my relatives events, and my dad's sister's like, what the hell? When did she even picked up this Kazakh? She's right now talking Kazakh like fluently. What the hell is going on?
And Kenzie could pick up a language very well.
Yeah, I think it's just because I don't know.
Even right now, it's like I'm amazed sometimes what she says in Spanish.
Maybe I'm able to understand English real good and speak a little bit.
No,
Habla español poquito.
No, and now it's dangerous because I can't lie to her. You know what I mean? I'm in the phone with somebody. I cannot talk shit behind her back because she'll know.
I know everything. He speaks Spanish. I know.
But she can say a lot of words to me in Kazakh or Russian. I'm like, oh, okay, I love you too. But instead of like, she's probably saying, oh, fuck you and this and that. And Kenzie, and then I'm like, love you too, babe. Like an idiot, like, oh, love you too.
But I do understand Spanish for maybe 85%.
Yeah, she does.
Nice. That's so cool. I
yeah.
want to learn Spanish too.
Spanish is really awesome. That's a
I
language
just need to,
love,
spend more time in the Spanish-speaking environment. That's when I guess you learn, right?
Here we
You
are,
start speaking.
right here.
No, I think for you, yeah.
That's how I learn language, basically.
Yeah. I need to, so I'm planning, so this time around, we're going to go to Hektor or Kazakhstan in Hektor. We're going to be there from August 2nd to September 20th. And I'm hoping that I could maybe get somebody to teach me the basics in Kazakh. Yeah. So, because when I go over there, sometimes like, I mean, there's tons of things to do, but maybe 60-70% of the time I'm like literally just laying in bed or not doing anything productive.
You'd like to be more involved.
I mean, this time around, yesterday we were just talking to Makbal, right, about going to the Grand Canyon, but in Hektor.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah,
What is it called?
What is it called?
Bozhora, it's like, can I say it in Russian because it's so important.
Or in Kazakh.
Back then, давно там была...
In Kazakh, baby.
По-башки или сложно?
Love you too.
Мен қазақша жақсы білемін, наверное, because no, honestly, right now it's just my brain is just so like crazy. Даже если я знаю казахский, если честно, мен қазақ тілім мүмкін ондай жақсы емес. Я знаю почему, потому что все это время у меня окружали русские, допустим, русскоязычные друзья, поэтому...
Русскоязычный, либо по-английски?
И либо по-английски, на самом деле. И вот Бозжора, на самом деле, это такое красивое такое место в Казахстане, именно в западном, ближе к Актау. Это где back then там был Тетис, Ocean. Вообще...
Что такое Тетис?
Тетис — это океан, который существовал. Существовал долгое время до того, как человечество вообще образовалось, получается, тысячи, может быть, 2000 лет, я точно не знаю время, но вот эта Бозжора — это просто кораллы, которые они образовались после того, как только Тетис, океан, он ушел, то есть вода от этого места ушла, получается, сейчас это такое красивое место просто поехать с друзьями, просто на машине, это целый день ты просто будешь смотреть, и если ты будешь ходить туда-сюда, у тебя есть возможность найти акульи зубы, которые the shark's teeth
That's what I want to do.
there.
That's what I want to do. I want to be like Indiana Jones in but Mexican, and instead of being in Russia, I'm in Kazakhstan.
Yeah,
Been
so
looking for fossils and stuff like that. That's
yeah.
how
So
phenomenal would
it's
that be?
just это place, это такое место, которое каждый человек обязан.
I'm just disappointed that I've been there 5 times, and every time I'm there for at least a month or maybe a little bit more than a month, and I haven't been there.
Doing like you haven't been like visiting, like exploring, right?
Yeah, and I mean I've been to Almaty, Astana, Akrau, in Aktau, obviously, and but these are tourist areas. I want
Yeah.
to see what's inside.
Yes.
In the pueblos. I want to go where she said that she was actually born in. She was Kenzie Akinje.
Okay.
She wasn't born in Aktau.
Okay.
She was born in a little
Okay.
pueblito. She's not even
Yes.
from Aktau.
Окей,
You know?
короче, можно я вот пока он сейчас говорит об этом,
I
я
want to visit the
родилась
hospital where
в
she.
Щитпе. Я родилась в Щитпе. Щитпе это недалеко от Актау. Такой маленький аул. Моя мама и мой папа, они были геологами, у них была работа там в Щитпе. У меня сестра и брат, они родились почему-то в Актауском роддоме, но почему-то я, маленькая девочка, родилась в Щитпе. У мамы были очень сложные роды. Ладно, не буду идти во все подробности, но как только я родилась, меня сразу же, после 40 дней, у меня папа и мама, они получили квартиру в Актау, они сразу переехали туда. И когда они переезжали, у папы был запорожец, и помните, дипломаты были такие, обычные дипломаты. И мне папа из этого дипломатов в Запорожце сделал колыбельную.
Wow.
И вот в этом дипломате я переезжала обратно. Получается, через 40 дней, как только я переехала, папа запорожец сломался по дороге, я помню, и папа такой, все, мы что теперь здесь в холодном, или, останемся этот, и так получилось, у меня у мамы брат в это время проезжал на большом таком грузовике, и они прям пытались как-то ему помахать, чтобы он, нашел их. В общем, он проехал, потом он увидел, обратно приехал, меня на этом дипломате обратно, и папу всех, взяли, и потом этот запорожец веревкой, в Актау повезли. Это был мой первый момент, когда я в Актау переехала, получается, будучи 40-дневной девочкой, но рожденная в Щитпе.
Щитпе what one?
Щитпе.
Literally, her mom, and I love her a lot, almost lost her life giving birth to.
Да, у меня мама чуть ли не умерла.
Like
когда она...
the hospital was like, I think.
Мама роды принимала.
The story goes where finally dad gets to the hospital and he says that it looked like someone got murdered because there was blood everywhere in that room.
Получается, at that day there was the celebration. There was no doctors, and the person who had an opportunity to do this, it was a woman that was washing the floors.
Yeah.
Санитарка, которая полы мыла, она принимала роды.
And the sucky part as well is that there was no, back then, there was no anesthetics, right? So they were doing it a cappella, you know?
Yeah, мама уже умирала от потери
крови. So when I heard the story, because we interviewed Mama and Papa.
You did?
Kenji's mom and dad. So we could hear the history and everything,
Okay.
Not as fancy as this, of course, but we had video and listened to their stories, Dude, it's different world, man. Different world when they were growing up in the Soviet Union.
Yeah.
With the Soviet Union.
Yeah.
And how they get separated from their
Yeah.
culture, and how the Soviet Union separated the Kazakh culture, right? And oppressed the people, right? And racism was at the highest of the high, right?
Don't you see the parallels with natives here?
Absolutely.
Yeah, exactly.
This
the
is
same
our
situation.
lives. This is the same thing. We have Mexicans have border to the United States, right? But the difference is that Kazakh
Okay.
didn't sold their land to Russia, which is awesome.
We're managed to somehow
To
we were
keep
managed to
everything.
keep it.
So
Yeah,
happy.
Mexico. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
They sold fucking California, one of the richest states in the world. You know, they sold Texas, they
Yeah,
sold
that's really
Nevada, they
true.
sold all this stuff. And guess what? They still tell us that we're Mexican, we don't belong here, motherfuckers. The land that you're stepping on is Mexican.
Yeah.
The
I
land
agree with
we've
that.
been here since Christopher Columbus. What are you talking about? You know what I mean? So,
No, what I'm talking about before Christopher Columbus,
yeah,
the native
the
people.
natives.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
If anything, the natives are the only ones
Yes,
that
yes.
belong here,
Uh-huh,
right?
uh-huh.
But we obviously we have some
You know,
blood in us.
actually,
Yeah.
in this. Okay. Once you're done,
What I'm trying to say is that even though we are far away culture and we have different beliefs and different culture, there's a lot of cultural differences, especially with our food and all that stuff. We still speak the same language in the form of the type of history and racism that went through because of Russia and Kazakhstan, right? Well, guess what? We have the same thing
Exactly.
with United States and Mexico. You know what happened in World War II? Kazakh people went to fight, were the first ones in line,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Well, guess what? Mexicans were the first ones in line for any U.S. war.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So we're far away, but we're still speaking the same language. You know what I mean? In the sense of having that crazy relationship border stuff with people. Yeah. that's
Okay,
crazy.
going back, I'm sorry, I'm relocate this conversation into this a little tiny interesting thing,
Okay.
which is when I was in Kazakhstan, I was working over there, and I don't know why, like my life was all into like knowing Native Americans, and I knew that I have some sort of connection with them, but that connection was so like deep inside of me, and all my like wall was the Native American with their fur hats and like whatever. It's just and the what is it called, sleeping what is it?
Dreamcatcher.
Dream
Dreamcatchers, yeah.
catchers. I always tell my friends, "Can you bring me dream catchers?" And my car had dream catchers.
In Kazakhstan?
Yeah, it's because I don't know why I felt like some sort of connection to
She-
the Native Americans.
One
I
of the
felt
pictures,
it.
one of the pictures that she had in her, in I don't know where. I think it was Instagram. She had a picture of her of an earring with the feather there. You know, look kind of Native American type of style. And that's I'm like, oh shit, this is a woman I
It's
want.
just I
It
don't
was
know.
so sexy.
Oh, yeah?
The fact that it was so like calling me inside, and my mom, like the fact that I was wearing like ponchos before, back before I met Hector. It's like maybe 10 years, like ponchos, and my shoes were having like type of like a like shamans
Yeah.
type of shoes, and my mom like, what the fuck are you wearing? Like you look so like silly. You look like, I was like, Mom, this is my style. I like it. And my mom was like, this is weird. And then I started learning Spanish because I was working in Italian company because there was no Italian courses at that time. And I started learning Spanish.
No, you started learning Italian.
No, I wanted, but there was no courses of Italian.
And
And I decided to learn Spanish because there was Spanish courses.
That's cool.
But not...
But
I have never
my
thought
question is,
that.
how did you get to know the native, like before? Like, where did you get that? Like from movies or something?
I don't know, I
Is
didn't
that-
even do my research at that time. У меня просто внутри было такое, внутри.
Да,
Вот
ну,
что-то
но
у
ты же
меня
должна
просто-
же была находить это где-то.
Ну, это, наверное, где-то... Не знаю.
I
Честно,
think I
если
know.
я не делала research,
I think-
honestly.
no, I
У меня
think I
просто
know.
внутри было
No.
это.
I
Я
think I-
хочу это делать. Мне нравится Native American thing.
No,
How
I think
do
I
you
know.
know?
I know. I'm badass like that, dude.
Okay.
So
Let's
so
see.
so knowing Akinja's dad,
Ага.
he loves westerns.
Oh,
He
okay.
loves westerns.
Clint Eastwood movies.
Yeah, Clint Eastwood's, and when she was a little girl,
She was
he
watching.
was watching those movies. Guess who was right next to him?
Yeah, that's
Clint
so cool.
Westwood. Oh my.
So
freaking
everything that we do and watch as adults has an effect on our children,
God.
and that is the effect of Kenja's dad
Oh my goodness.
to Akinja, right? That's the effect that she got, and subconsciously, she loved that stuff.
It's because at that time.
Ты думаешь, твой отец именно смотрел его фильмы ради Клинта Иствуда, или ему нравился больше вот этот native, видишь же?
Нет, моему папе нравился Клинт
Именно
Иствуд,
ковбой,
ему нравятся ковбойские movies и все такое. Наверное, в этот
I
момент.
wonder if he was watching those movies because of the cowboy and Clint Eastwood style, or was he more interested in the other side, you know, like
No, I don't
of the
Indians?
natives?
No,
Yeah,
no,
yeah.
no. He was interested on
on the
cowboys
yeah,
and horses.
Okay,
Maybe
okay.
I just grabbed something over
And
there.
she was more interested in Indian and
Yeah.
native.
The whole culture, yeah.
Because it's more, I guess, it imprints in your brain faster. No?
Absolutely.
It's more energetically packed,
Oh
you know.
my
Yeah,
goodness.
because Indians were looked at as bad guys, right?
Yeah, but still,
Hollywood
she was able to relate to that faster rather than cowboys.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Because it's just
So it means you
civilization
see,
of like
baby?
thousands of years.
Oh my gosh, there's something came up to me. I'm so sorry, but I have to tell this. I always tell Hector about the life is life, right? Everyone goes to the direction that everyone puts us to go, right? Because those movies already known into to make our brain to do certain things. But I was always telling Hector, there's no, we don't have to go where everyone goes. No. No, we don't have to go where everyone's go. We could go backwards. It's gonna be freaking hard, but we could go backwards. And the better life is right here, not there.
I don't get it.
The thing is that the Clint Eastwood movie that maybe I was as a child looking, I wasn't looking at, oh my gosh, those cowboys are so awesome. They're so freaking phenomenal. What I was doing, I was going to the fact that those people, the ones that getting hurt, the Native Americans, you know what I mean? Maybe somehow, I don't know yet, but asking those questions kind of gave me a little bit answers of that. I don't want to.
But
like,
you were relating more towards the Native
yeah,
American.
it's because I don't like when people get hurt in general. I don't like when people do something when they don't want to do. I don't want when
what?
people get forced to do certain things.
Okay.
No one is, no, baby, in general, like no one is here in this life and then this world to force themselves to do certain things.
Wait, why do
Okay.
you force me to do things then?
I have never forced you.
Yes, you have. What about when we were dating and we became
No, you're
boyfriend
not
and
gonna
girl?
say that. Hector,
Okay.
it's
Okay.
different.
Okay.
Wait,
Хорошо.
wait.
Хорошо. Let's move on.
She forced me to.
Hmm. That's interesting.
Yeah,
'Cause,
it's just I think at that time I have maybe my passion about this, and then I start learning Spanish, and then all of a sudden there's something happened to my work, and I decided to move to U.S. like like it was like one day decision.
That's very.
I moved and
She had, the balls to say to quit a
I
good
told
paying
my
job,
parents.
and
I
then
said,
and then buying a ticket without even telling your parents, packing up, and then
Yeah.
a day or
At
two.
that time, I told my parents, mom and dad, I'm going to US to learn my English, to get my skills better. I'll be back in 6 months. And my work that I'm working, per se, it was like good company. I told them I'll be back, and my company will hold my spot. And my mom was like, okay. And then they went to Russia for the sanatorium, and I left the house when it was empty. The house was empty, and I'm knowing that I'm leaving the house with one of my luggage, and I know that I don't know when I come back to this house, and I didn't get to say bye to my parents. I just left.
And the
And
crazy part.
my eyes were like watery. I locked the door. I went to the airport. Nobody was there to say bye to me.
Yeah.
I left, but I said to myself, "You're doing this for better, for yourself." That's it.
She came to the U.S. trying to make sure that she has a future, right? She wanted to go to college. This was her goals. She wanted to go to college,
Okay.
learn English, and maybe graduate from, get a bachelor's or associates, whatever it is, but go to college to increase her status, right?
Okay.
When I after we met, she told me her goals. She told me her story, and not just because she's beautiful, not just because she's a beautiful
How
person
did you meet?
looking.
How did you guys meet?
I'll tell you in a second.
Okay.
Not just because she's a beautiful person was it because that I fell in love with her. It was more of her character and what she is doing to be a better person, right? So we went ahead and went forward. I told her, you know what, the easiest way to be able to go to school and not pay so much is if we do certain things. But I want to tell you this right now. I love you. I want to get married with you, and I want to, and I don't want you to
my
go away.
gosh,
I don't want you
love
to
that
leave.
fact.
Wait. I don't want you to leave. So we went ahead and got married in by
But the
by
thing is,
court.
can
One
I
second.
add on a little bit? We were dating at that time, and Hector was like saying, I'm like realistic person. I said like, what if our relationship is not gonna work out? What if we gonna break up? What if like, you never know. We just met each other like 5 months ago, and we're dating. Like, what if we just not gonna work out? Hector, the key word that he said, he told me, Kenzie, even though we break up, doesn't matter. If you get a green card, I will never go and tell them, hey, she's a fraud. I
Yeah,
will let
oh,
you
yeah.
stay with it
Yeah.
as much as you can, and I'll do whatever
Yeah, of
in
course.
my hands to keep it for you.
Yeah,
Because
no, I
I'm
told
doing
her-
it just for you.
I told her, hey, even if we break up, we'll still follow the process until you get your green card.
Yeah.
And you make sure your status changes, right? And now you could go to back
Yeah.
and forth to Kazakhstan and in the U.S. and no problem. And so here's the deal, though. She left, right? She met me. We got married in court. We didn't tell her her parents or her friends or anything.
At that time, my parents already.
Okay, well, we told them that we were gonna get married in Hektor, right, in Kazakhstan. That was our real wedding, right? And then after that, I started doing paperwork, right? Then a year passed, like around 1 year passed, and then I turned in the paperwork, right? And it took another year to finally Akinje was able to travel outside the U.S. So technically
It
she
landed
didn't.
to my brother's wedding.
It landed on Akinje's wedding. Even
No,
to get
my brother's
yeah,
wedding.
we were able to go to her brother's wedding, right? But
Because I had to
think
wait
about
2
this.
2 years.
Think about the stress that this woman had to go through. She was in all the paperwork. I did it myself. We didn't hire a
Oh
lawyer.
yeah.
I-
The
I- it
lawyers
took
were
me- it took
charging
me-
us like
One second.
$6,000.
It took me 3 weeks, 4 hours a day reading paperwork, sometimes a little longer, to finally be able to say, okay, I'm comfortable. Let's send these documents. And it was crazy. It was a shitload of different forms. And if you get something wrong, that's it. There goes her residency card.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know. So, anyways, that's how much faith she had on me. During that time, there was like 8 months, right? Processing, and it was nerve wracking. You know. Fortunately, I did almost everything right, and she got it on the 8th month, and we were able to go to Kazakhstan. But between that
2018.
time, think about this. She told her parents that she was not going to. She was only be gone for 6 months.
Yeah.
She was planning to go back. She didn't go back. She wanted to go back, but at this point she couldn't. That's why for me it was so stressful, because if I fuck up, I'm messing up her life, her way to go to Kazakhstan and come back. You know what I mean? It was so hard. It was stressful. It was sometimes we got in fights, but that's why I put a lot of effort into it. You know what I mean? And I was 110%. I was like correct on these paperworks, and yeah, fortunately everything went well. And so by November, I remember it was my birthday. It was my birthday, November 26th. She freaking she was out. She got her residency card, and she says, "Baby, I want to leave 1 week earlier or 2 weeks earlier or something like that." And I told her, "Babe, but it's
Because
my
I
birthday.
have to be.
Babe, but it's my birthday." And she said, "Yes, but I haven't seen my family in over 2 years." And I said, "Yeah, you're right. I'm not gonna." One rule that I have for myself is that I will never say no to my wife wanting to go see her family or visit her family. I encourage it, you know, and the reason being is that she needed to go over there to prepare everyone that, hey,
It's just a wedding.
I'm getting married with I mean, this is my partner.
Did she go by herself?
Yeah, so
I
she
went
ended
I
up
see.
going by herself.
Because I had to help my parents to get ready for my brother's wedding.
Also, her brother's wedding.
Okay.
Because
And-
you
and-
know it's a lot of. Work.
And then after that, she left, and then I went 2 weeks later
Okay.
for a month or something like that. Yeah, and yeah, no, it's that's why I'm like, she has balls, man. Like to do that. I was just whatever.
What
Is that yours?
happened?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Ah, okay.
What?
I was carrying a knife. It fell from my. Just in case, you never know.
Her laughter. Her
It
laughter
seemed
was
like
so
it
cool.
was an axe or whatever.
Oh,
You just
something
fell
on the
off.
chair.
Something fell from the chair.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's
Okay.
just the metal part that way. The what's it called? People who are sitting on the chairs and putting their excuse me, putting their feet on the wood. It doesn't get deteriorate.
Babe, can I say how we met?
Oh, so
no,
so
can
let me
can I
finish my
say-
story.
Say it.
Baby, you're taking like 10,000 hours to tell your
you
story. Let me
have.
tell my story. You give me 9,000 hours.
Please, can I say it?
This is Kenzie
So-
and Hektor. Let me remind you
Hector
that.
and
Babe, let me
Kenzie.
just finish my story. What are you doing?
So, where were we?
Here,
Where,
get
where
some
were
more
we?
wine.
Where were we?
So she has balls, right?
Obviously.
Fucking big old balls, man. Like,
Oh my god.
Yeah.
You guys are funny,
so
man.
so my wife with the big old balls, she freaking I mean, how could I say no to that, right? So during that time also let's not talk about money, but I changed the tickets 3 times. So each time you change a ticket for a long flight costs a lot of money,
Yep.
you know? And but at the end of the day, now I don't do that. I'm like, boy, that, you know? Now but then I had to do it. You know why? Because it took balls to come to this country, not knowing the language very well, English. Now she speaks it well, and following her dream to go to school, learn English, and do something of herself,
Okay.
and she's there already. By the way, salud, congratulations to my wife.
Congratulations.
She graduated and she just finished her portfolio and resume. I have to go over it. Look at that.
Interior designer, right?
Yay.
Yeah. Interior designer.
And when's your graduation?
May 25th.
May 25th, and a lot of
Yeah.
people are coming, right? Over?
Most
Yeah.
likely, and Gulnura wants, and Nurtai wants to come, so
Of
I'll
course.
send you invitation.
We haven't done invitations. We've been a little slow on that, but we already got the place, you know.
No, to the actual.
I've never been to a graduation
ceremony.
before,
Do you
so
wanna
it'll be
come?
interesting
to
to
the
check it
actual
out.
graduation.
Yeah.
No, I don't know.
Ah.
Yeah, I don't know.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
No pressure.
I
I'm,
don't know.
No.
Yeah.
I don't know how it works.
No,
Yeah, me too.
I absolutely
I mean, I
will be
graduated.
happy to see you both
But
over
it's-
there.
Are you gonna be throwing hats?
Yeah.
Yeah,
but-
that's what I want to see.
But it's different from the graduation that I had in different colleges. It's different. So I don't know how they're gonna do it. West Valley.
Okay, there's the thing that I wanted to say before. I think I need to go to the restroom.
Okay.
But before that, I really wanted to say how we met. So and then you guys could stay and talk a little
then
bit
you could come
more.
back.
Oh, maybe I will
Maybe, yeah.
just enjoy my time with girls because
Okay.
they have been waiting for me for a while.
Okay.
If you guys okay, I think this podcast will be a little bit even better when you guys have a little bit.
Babe,
more
nothing is
talk.
better without you.
Aw.
Yeah.
I had to.
The thing is, I want to say that one day my cousin Cam told me when I moved to San Diego, I was living with Russ, and she told me, "Hey, you should get some friends." And I was like, "Well, what am I gonna get them? She was like, maybe you should sign up for some sort of apps and everything. And I was like, yeah, sure. And I signed up on a weird app, and I saw Hector's picture over there. I saw Hector's picture.
I was super
That's
super
it.
handsome.
I told Russ at that time, Russ, look, this guy is gonna be my husband.
This is a picture she fell
And
in love
Russ
with.
was like laughing, ha 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 ha. Why? Like, you don't even know him. I was like, I will know him, and he's gonna be my
Yeah.
I'm
husband.
the guy that ate that guy.
Yeah.
But over the time that we were talking and like we had conversation, he loved the fact that I'm from Kazakhstan, from his favorite boxer, one of the favorite boxers,
Gunner.
Triple G,
Triple G.
country. He knew, like, oh my gosh, like, you
I
know,
already knew a little bit of Kazakhstan.
Yeah,
okay.
'Cause I researched-
knew.
I
And
researched
then
it, yeah.
we came into that point that we're like, let's meet.
Yeah.
Well, we
You
said,
guys,
let's meet.
you found her online, right? Basically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
online dating. You said.
Yeah.
Online
Was it online
dating?
dating? Yeah.
Yeah.
Which app was it?
I don't know.
You don't remember?
Zusk or something. It's like really rare and weird app. So
For women, for men, it's like
for men and
normal.
But the thing is,
Normal.
you know what?
Normal.
What is so phenomenal in this whole situation?
Yeah, this is a trippy.
You know what? Because Hector said, like, let's meet. We've been talking to each other for a month.
Yeah.
We had already phone numbers, and he said,
Sexy
like,
pictures.
I want.
She loved.
Hell no. No. So the thing is, when
Yeah.
we decided to. Hector,
She almost
why
hit
are
me.
you lying?
I'm lying.
That's
I'm lying. I already said it. I confirmed.
So the thing is, what I want to say, he said, like, I want to meet you. Let's go for first date. Can you send me your address? I sent him an address, and he said, no freaking shit.
Yeah.
I was like,
I
what
didn't say no
happened?
freaking shit. I said no freaking way.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like, he said, no freaking way. I was like, what happening? He was like, I live across the street.
Yeah.
The San Diego is
In San Diego is so big.
freaking expanded place.
Yeah, I think the app, the algorithm is also kind of matched you of the app by the location.
See, the thing is that I didn't have an account with them. There's a free version and there's a version that you pay.
Okay.
So I wasn't talking to anybody. You know what I mean? And I was about to. I don't even know
Me
how
too,
to.
actually. I was
I don't even know how to
free
delete it.
version as well.
You know.
Yeah. Okay.
She said that I sent her something,
Ah,
and then I said that no, you sent me something. So
So the algorithm.
it might be the
Connected
case.
you.
Fucking AIs, man.
Yeah.
Fuck that shit.
you see,
What do you mean?
we're
fuck that
talking
shit?
about
You guys
it.
are
Our
together
selves
now.
are here, but okay, but this is just funny as hell. But before that, I don't know how algorithm works at this
It's all
point.
computer
No,
simulation.
wait a second.
Yeah.
But by then, before I kept on getting like, you will meet, like, you know, like press, and then like it's like what is it called? Like when you go to an what is it called? When you go to
Lost.
okay, whatever. So everything was leading into me saying like the signs. You're gonna meet person, your prince in a white horse.
Oh, yeah.
You're gonna meet prince in a white horse.
Who says that?
The signs everywhere, like in the Instagram, everywhere. Like someone even says something. You're like, you know. I was like, what the fuck is
You guys
this
are
going
fucking
on right there?
crazy,
And
right?
then all of a sudden, like, first date with Hector,
I drive in
Mustang.
with the white Mustang.
I walk, but I didn't know any better about the car
Yeah,
and
that's
what
funny.
is it. until I sit in the car
And there's
I look at the freaking wheel and I knew that the car is
horse.
freaking wide. I was like, what the hell is freaking like?
By the way,
this
I
is
drive
weird.
a
doesn't
Mustang
make
GT. Beautiful car.
Yeah.
Right? Nurka?
And it goes
That's it.
yeah.
I was like, this is weird. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
yeah,
what
but
happened.
that's yeah.
That's why I
don't
was
know.
like,
Do you get that stuff a lot? Like signs just like popping up all of a
how
sudden?
about the
I-
day of the first date that
Yeah,
The
so
door was
so
opening.
it's so weird. There's some things that I cannot explain. That's why I'm saying we're living in a what is it called when we live in
Simulation?
Simulation.
You think so?
Because, like, so weird. Anyways, I'll tell the story. Our first date, I wanted to take her out archery, right?
Archery.
Yeah, so something active, right? But before I went there early so we could have a few drinks before throwing arrows that might kill us, right? Get a little drunk before that.
Okay.
right?
And you guys went to
I'm
a
like,
brewery?
it should be a good idea. No.
No brewery?
So what we did is that the right next to the archery, there was a pub, a typical American pub with pool tables and stuff like that. And I drive in, park my car, open up, we sit on a corner, and imagine the doors here, and we're like the corner
car
of the
was
bar.
there.
So we sit down, order one drink, and it was only like 1 hour, right, or less than that. And we're drinking, and all of a sudden the door pops open, the sun hitting my car, shining into her, and I'm looking at her, and I'm like, I'm not drunk, I'm not even buzzing it. What's going on? And I literally saw an aura around her, like she was glowing.
Yeah.
I'm tripping out. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? And I'm looking around. Why am I seeing her like this? My eyes are my eyes like you know
Yeah.
when you get it watery, you see that.
Yeah.
And they were clear as fuck. Isn't that crazy? And I'm like, shit. I think this is my girl.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ah, that's
I think this is my girl.
That's so cool.
And that's my story. I'm sticking to it. And
Even
dude,
in the
it's
first date we just met,
so
right?
crazy.
He was like, "You smoke?" I was like, "Yeah, let's go have a cigarette." Hopefully, it's not
We were walking from one pub,
affect
from one.
your
It's okay.
podcast.
It's okay.
But we went outside. We had a cigarette, and Hector was like, "Can I put my car keys?" His
Oh yeah,
whatever the
I was
wallet
carrying.
and
I
everything.
was carrying a lot of things in my
just
bag,
lighter
and I'm like, hey, do you
into
mind
my
if
bag.
if I put my keys, my cigarettes, my lighter
First
in
date,
your
man.
in your purse?
What the hell?
Yeah.
Okay, if you trust me,
Okay, and
yeah,
then?
why not? And then what he did at
Wait.
the end of the night,
So we go to a different brewery, and then we get a little tipsy. We
Okay.
come back, we take an Uber back home, and I told her let me get my stuff. So I grabbed my stuff from her purse, and I said, all right, good night. Had a great night. We kissed, and we go back to our place. Right, she goes to her place. I go across the street. I go to my place. And the next day, I call her up and I'm like, "Hey, I left my keys in your purse.
car keys. In
My car keys in your purse." And she's like, "Oh, okay. I'll okay. Do you mind if I go and get them?" And she's like, "No, I don't mind. By the way, there's a movie that I've been wanting to watch. Do you want to go with me?"
Baby, fast baby movie. He did
How
it
could
on
she not say no?
purpose.
How could you say no?
Yeah.
If we're gonna see each other,
He
you
did
know.
Purpose. He
Yeah.
just wanted to have a second
And
date.
that's how you do it. I just gave awesome knowledge to
He
everyone.
left because he knew that I'm not like the weird person. He knew that
Yeah.
he could trust me with his car keys.
Plus
Wow.
you did right.
Yeah.
Your car across the street. So
That's so cool.
Yeah.
So dating app actually picked you based off of your location, and now
I don't know.
you guys need to thank dating app
Oh,
for making it happen.
100%.
That's
Yeah.
so
I
funny.
don't know. I still think we live in a simulation.
Okay, guys. You guys still wanna
Yeah,
having the conversations while I'm gonna go and check up on the girls?
sure.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.
Bye, Kenzie.
I'm so happy. Thank you, Nurtai, for giving us this opportunity because
Yeah.
it's so awesome.
You guys have so much energy. Yeah, we need to do this again. Maybe next time
Absolutely.
Gulnur will,
Yes, let's
will
do
be here.
that.
fun.
Yeah.
Okay, bye, followers and listeners. We love you. Let's see each other next time.
Mhm.
Bye bye.
Bye. All right.
Right on.
Now it's only me
I
and.
need to go take a shit. Oh. What do you need to do? PP time. Okay.
Sounds good. Yeah, I think we can. What I can do, I can pause this for now if you want to take a break and then we can come
let's
back.
pause
Let's do that. We talked about you guys' story. Now we can talk about what you want to talk about.
Yeah.
Is there any like topics that
No.
have been like, tickling you? So you were talking about simulation. Is that something that you were?
Nah, I'm
Interested?
just joking
Yeah, just
around.
joking?
I
More
really
joke.
don't care about all that stuff.
Yeah.
It does cross my mind sometimes about like how coincidence are. I mean, things are impossible, right? Sometimes.
Like the odds of those things happening is weird, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just so. It's too scary for me. It's too scary to go into the understanding that we might be living in a simulation, and because it's too scary to think about, I prefer not to think about it. Even though situations happen in life that makes me question things,
Yeah.
and coincidences happen all the time. Like the probabilities of, for example, I I was driving from San Diego to one of my first interviews in the Bay Area when I told Kenzie that we would move to San Jose so she could live closer to her family. And because I mean, she only has two people that are her cousins or her sister and brother that live here in the United States, and fortunately is only a 7-hour drive from San Diego to the Bay Area to San Jose. And I said, well, I'm not gonna keep her away from her family, like I'm gonna make it easier, and I could find a job anywhere. So one of the interviews that I had was with a company that's in Fremont, and I made the drive with her. But one of the times that I drove when we were moving, one of the times that I drove by myself, I had my window down, right, and luckily I had my glasses on, and literally a rock flew off a semi truck and went into my car and hit my glasses and broke them. I didn't there was no I didn't panic, so I was just driving straight. I was driving probably at 85 miles an hour. But I mean, think about that.
And your window was open.
Yeah,
basically.
yeah.
Okay.
I always have my windows open. I love fresh air, when I'm driving in California. And yeah, I mean, that's not the biggest one. That's just a big, like, oh, fuck, that happened.
If it,
right?
if it weren't for those glasses, you might have injured your eyes, right?
Yeah. Yeah. The situation is more like what made me put my glasses on. What made me. I never wear sunglasses, ever. I had my sunglasses right here. I don't know if you saw. And
Yeah,
I
yeah,
knew
yeah.
I had my glasses all the
Yeah,
time.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Oh, the whole day under the sun, I wasn't wearing sunglasses. I never wear sunglasses. But that happened, and why was I wearing sunglasses? And I mean, all these things building up to that moment. That's what trips me out. You know what I mean? Why people make those type of decisions. Anyways, I'm going into the rabbit hole, and I prefer not to think about it because it doesn't give purpose to our lives. You know, and that's the scary part. Yeah.
Yeah, you think so? Do you think there is no purpose in those consequences?
Well, think about it. If it's only a simulation, right? And we live under zeros and ones, our decisions are not made
By ourselves.
by ourselves.
So you don't
Every
you don't
everything
like
is
the idea that something is controlling you.
absolutely not. You don't have control. One of the things that scares me in life, and I don't get scared easily. I it's it's not having control. Like for example, Kenzie, there was times where I cried at home by myself
Okay.
because having the thought that Kenzie was gonna give birth to our first child, Matias, and what if something happens to her? It scared me. Those are the moments that you have no control over. There's nothing you can do. And being able to let that go, I can't. When Akinje had a very hard labor, it took her 40 something hours. I don't remember. But it was 40 something hours. The day that she went to the hospital, so I woke up at 6 in the morning, like always, work. We go for a walk. And at night, like around 10 o'clock, she's ready to go to sleep. And I'm super tired. And this is around the time that she's ready to pop. She's ready to go. And my mom's there. And I fell asleep. I told my Mom, I have to go to bed. Can you take care of Kenzie? Because she's ready to go. Just wake me up, whenever. I thought it was going to be next morning. But I only slept 30 minutes. And my mom wakes me up and says, she's ready. Her water broke. Let's go. So think about it. 6 in the morning, 10, 11 o'clock. We arrived to the hospital like around 11:30. She's not fully dilated, right? They give her something they induce her, right? The next day comes, still no sleep. The next day comes, she's not fully dilated. And throughout the whole day, she just didn't happen, right? I think it was 6 p.m., 7 p.m., around there. No sleep still of the next day. She's having contractions, but she's not fully dilated yet. I am trying to ask her. At this point, we're both tired, but I know she's like, obviously, she's a champ because she's trying to give birth, but she cannot rest. So I knew there was no rest for her. And she's hurting, right? And I can't do shit about it. And she tries to be in bed, and I'm massaging her. I'm like telling her, baby, just try to go to sleep. Try to go to sleep. Save your energy. Try to go to sleep. And she goes to sleep. She passes out. And boom, like not even a minute later, she freaking wakes up. And again in pain. So her contractions were like every minute or 2 minutes or whatever, right? And so the baby didn't let her sleep. And I'm like, fuck, what is gonna happen? She's not gonna have enough energy when she delivers. What the hell? This is not good. Doctors come, not dilated. Doctors come, not dilated. So another 12 hours pass. So we're already on this on 24. We're already on our on the third day, right? Third day comes again throughout the whole day. Sleep a little and boom, wake up. Sleep a little. We're all fully sleep deprived, right? Then the night comes. No. The afternoon comes, and the doctor comes and says, "We're gonna have to do cesarean. I'll open you up, that way, because you're not fully dilated. There could be some problems, and there were obviously some problems with her, and with the baby, and they gave us our options, and we said, okay. Finally, she made a decision because she wanted to have the baby naturally, and they gave her the whole cocktails of epidurals, everything, right? And finally, that was crazy. The epidural, like, so scary to see the fucking giant needle that goes into your spinal cord.
Yeah.
Oh, scary.
I've had that.
Yeah, it's crazy. So that happens, and I kid you not, like maybe 5 hours later, she's ready. Everybody comes in. Everyone's saying like, "Oh my God, she's ready!" Like, because people were worrying about her, and I was worried about her. And then I think the baby was born at 11:46 p.m. But before that, let's rewind back. The whole time they liked us because the whole time I was playing music. I was trying to have fun with everything. I was trying to make her laugh. At the same time, at night, whenever I had the time to like rest, I would go outside to have a cigarette and cry because there's nothing I can do. There's nothing I can do, and I have to let it go. And that is scary because she's my wife. She's my everything. And then when it got to 11 o'clock. She was a champ. I was there all the time. I was helping the nurses with her leg because the nurses came. She was really dilated. One doctor stayed, and then one nurse stayed. And I told the nurse, "Is there something I could do? I want to do something. I don't want to be just here watching." And she said, "Yes." Grab one of her legs, and help her when she's pushing. Push her leg towards her face, while she's pushing the other way. While I'm looking at the whole thing coming out, right? And so I was helping the nurse doing that every time she pushes. But at the same time, I was trying to make Kenzie laugh throughout the whole thing.
Okay.
The whole birth, right? The whole labor. And we were joking around, Kenzie and I. We were like, I would say something, she would laugh and push and laugh and push, and we're having fun. The doctor, she's like, "What the? These guys are crazy. They haven't slept." That's like they're going crazy. And the nurse, she was laughing with us, and stupid jokes, stupid things that we would say. And when the baby, I guess you could see the crown of the baby, this part, right, the top of the head. When she was, one before that, she asked me. Kenzie said, because she cannot feel down there, right?
Yeah.
And Kenzie, she pushed, wah, and then baby, she would ask me, "Baby, I'm not pooping, right?" No, baby, you're not pooping. Dude, it was a lot of shit. Oh my god, it was crazy.
Oh my god.
It was intense. It was so intense. Excuse me. Salud
Salud.
to my wife that did a great job. And so we would say, I would say that, and the nurse and the doctor were just laughing while they wiped everything out, you know. And but it's normal. You're just pushing into your intestines and going like a toothpaste, you know. It's pushing into it's pushing everything out. And so the baby, to this day, let's just clear it out. To this day, she never pooped. Okay.
Only there. Only there, right?
Okay. And so while we were pushing, right, I was pushing, and you could see the crown. She was freaking Kenzie, and this is why I think I still love her. She's gonna die. She's gonna die. You know what she said? I'm joking around, of course. She said, "Baby, is the color?" No, he was coming out. Is the color of his head? Is the color of his hair, white? like a different color, you know, like everyone, all the nurses was laughing. Babe, what the fuck are you saying? Are you serious right now? And then I looked at him and I'm like, no, he's my kid. He does look Asian, but he looks Mexican as well. No, he's my kid. He's my kid.
Yeah.
So everyone was
Did
laughing.
you just say like, babe, dude, are you having like something did you have something like with someone else or something? Like, were you asking that question?
Yeah, basically. and they were all laughing, and I was like, oh, yeah.
That's so funny.
No, and I recorded everything, by the way.
Yeah.
Even in the birth. It was so I go check on the kid. Kid goes directly to get weighed, get some shots, get measured, and all that stuff. The nurses are awesome. They're like freaking on top of everything.
Yeah.
In less than a minute, they have all that done, and then the baby is moved to the mom, to her chest, and while that's happening. The other doctor, because there's a team of nurses and doctors that come when the baby is ready to come out. There was only 3 of us until the whole, like this much, like the whole top of the head is already out.
Okay.
They get the team, and the team comes in. Like NASCAR. Have you seen NASCAR? They're just like that.
Like they would like switch the tires.
Yes.
Yeah.
Put gas, the pit stop, just like that. I'm like, fuck, like 20. They basically pushed me aside. All right, let the grown-ups work here. You know, go over there, child. You know, and I'm like, okay. So I'm recording, and one of the nurses said to me, like, you cannot record. You know, and I'm like, no, I am going to record. No, you cannot, or we're going to have to send you outside. I'm like, are you kidding me? It's been 3 days we've been in this fucking hospital.
Yeah.
I could cuss, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm in this fucking hospital. And it's it's the birth of my child. Of course I'm going to record. And one of the nurses, I had a conversation, or the doctor, I had a conversation with her hours before this happening, and I asked her, like, I'm gonna record, and she said yes, of course. And then this nurse was being a bitch and freaking telling me, you cannot record. And I said, no, I'm gonna record. If you have an issue, then you leave. You know, this is our family. You know, what the fuck. And the other nurse said, no. I told her, he is able to record. Just don't record our faces. And so I'm like, okay, whatever. Like, I could care less about her face. If anything, now I don't even want to see her, you know? So yeah, that happened, and I'm recording the whole birth, right? Comes out, baby on the chest of Kenzie, and everything came out good. Oh, thank whoever's out there, or the algorithm. But the second thing that happens is that she gives birth again. and that's the placenta and everything coming
Oh
out.
yeah.
Holy smokes! I mean, the shit that a woman has to go through in so much blood, dude. Oh my god, so much blood. In chunks of stuff and I mean, I don't want to scare anybody off, but it's beautiful at the same time. It's
Yeah.
disgusting, it's scary, but it's beautiful.
Yeah, yeah. I also had that experience, right? Like with Nrali, the first time I saw everything happen.
Yeah.
Not in detail like you were explaining to, but the very like vivid moment I remember. I don't know, like in my opinion, like you can tell, right? There was a life already inside her tummy,
Yeah.
right? Like logically it makes sense, right? You would be moving inside, it would start doing stuff, and so you think it's a life, right? That's what I would think, but just my experience, I felt like the life was given at that moment when he pulled out and just like started crying. I felt like something like a touch from above. It was like boom, like when he was able to take that first breath, you know, in yoga it's called prana, you know, because he doesn't breathe oxygen inside the womb. He breathes through mom's. So the moment he started breathing,
But there's oxygen there, dude.
yeah, I know, but like the actual breathing with his lungs, that's something miraculous. I don't know. To me, it
You
was like,
feel.
what? I felt the touch of God. That's that time. I don't know. I never felt like I say if there is like a miracle, if there is like a God, if there is like such a thing as a God's presence or something like that. I think I experienced at that time just the moment he.
Yeah.
You know the moment I'm talking about, right? You're not sure whether he's gonna cry or not, and then all of a sudden he cries, and it's such a relief. Like,
Yeah.
it's such a relief that tears come to my
Yeah.
eyes. I was like staying strong enough. Nothing I was doing. Okay, yeah, it's super tough. I understand, but at the same time, I think like billions and billions of people went through this, so it's like it must be normal. It's hard, but it's just normal, right? For the woman to go through, like they're
It's
preconditioned to do to endure this kind of pains.
yeah.
I'm not sure if men are able to do that. Probably not, because our bodies are not just uh, built that way.
Yeah,
They're
it's-
specifically already like by thousands and thousands of millions of years, I would say, will build their body
Yeah.
to go through this process, right? So I didn't think anything extra, but that moment when I felt like there's, I don't know, my opinion, I felt like the life was
Right
given
there.
that there. Yeah, that's my view.
Yeah.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Yeah, they women go through so
Yeah.
much that
But yeah, I looked, I was like, damn, this is
it's
intense. She goes,
Yeah.
yeah, I remember like she goes, she feels good, and then all of a sudden, oh no, it's like unbearable. Like all of a sudden, it's just like super unbearable.
I mean, think about it. Like their bones reconstruct
Yeah.
just for that specific moment and go back to normal. Well, they don't go back to normal, right? But it goes almost 90% back to normal. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? That come on, like
Yeah.
that whole situation with their bones and reconstructing and yeah, that's crazy. And another thing, like, so that happened, right? In we could have been going home the next day, right, or in a couple of hours after her birth, but they didn't let her go until 5 days later
Oh really?
because she was having blood
Oh, so
problems,
like complications
yeah,
after birth, right?
complications after birth.
Okay.
And that was the hard part. That was when the real situation started
Oh, okay.
of not being able to be in control, and I was so scared.
What happened? What's the
Her
complication?
blood pressure was going through the roof, and,
Oh, okay.
and she was sick, and she was swollen all over her body. It was crazy. It was intense. Every night,
But it's
I had to take
it's
care
not
of.
normal, right?
No,
It's,
it's not normal.
it doesn't happen always to people.
Yeah.
Yeah,
She, the baby needed to be taken care of, right? He was crying a lot. He was choking on his. There was still placenta water in the baby's lungs,
Oh, okay.
and so when she would be asleep, I had to be.
So the baby didn't have it easy in the beginning as well, right?
Well, he kind of did, but this is normal that a baby is sleeping, and you know how they're wrapped up, and a baby starts choking, or can't breathe.
And you have to
So
be
you have
controlling
to
that, right?
roll him and tap him in the back. That way he spits out the water, because there is such thing called, I think, I don't know. Don't quote me on this, but there's dry choking, where, or what is it called? When you go underwater and you breathe, can't breathe, and you're, what is it called when
Suffocation?
you're drowning.
Drowning.
It's called dry drowning.
Okay.
Where your body thinks that you're underwater and choking, and closes up his throat, and then you cannot breathe, and then you die.
So usually when
So-
people drown, it actually body does it to them, right? They specifically close that in order for water to not go inside.
Yeah, something like that.
Okay.
But this happens. This is called the drowning. Is happens outside, when your body thinks that you're drowning by, I don't know, drinking too much water, choking, whatever it is. And so the baby, you have to tap him in the back or something like to help him take the water, the placenta stuff out of his body, and you
Okay.
could see it. You could see it. You know. And I'm like, fuck, that's scary. So just imagine, third day, fourth day, and I woke up at 6. So actually 5 days for me, not sleeping. I was already, I think, by the third day, and I slept like 30 minutes here, 1 hour here, you know, and it's super uncomfortable. And now she's not getting any better, you know. The second day comes, she's not getting any better. When she would be up and she finally rested, it was like 12 o'clock at night, 1 in the morning or something like that. She would be up with the baby. I would go get something to eat, because they didn't give me food. They only gave Kenzie food. And so I would go get something to eat, or go have a Red Bull and a cigarette. Dude, I was bawling, because I don't want Kenzie to leave Earth, and I mean, she's my soulmate. Like, I don't know. I was fucking crying out in the car. I couldn't. So yeah, wipe my tears up and fucking, you know, not do it in front of her or the baby, because.
Do you feel like that often?
What?
Like that you lose, like, someone close?
Like, have thoughts
Have thoughts of that, and then that
Yeah.
kind of
Not
freaks you out.
Not often, but I do have thoughts like that. Like, for example, like when and this is crazy, because, and I don't know if it's just me, but I go out for a run or something like that, you know, and my mile is like 10 minutes, right? And then all of a sudden, I don't work out for like a month, and I go out for a run, right? But the first time that I go out for a run, just normal, listening to music, enjoying the time, right? Sometimes it doesn't motivate me, just the music. There has to be something else, right? And the next time I run, but all of a sudden my mile is like, I cut it down to 2 minutes. You know, I started thinking like, what's the difference? Well, the difference is that I'm thinking like, fuck, I'm doing this, I'm working out to take care of my child. What if some fucking asshole grabs my child and just tries to kill him or rape him? What am I gonna do? Fat fucking body, with my fat body. What am I gonna do? Fucking nothing. That when I'm thinking about my child being hurt, me working out to get to save my child, dude, I'm freaking my adrenaline just pops in. Start freaking running like crazy. You know, and that's I think it's like being like back to our like evolution status, you know? There has to be humans were meant to be hunters and warriors, and I think that's something from my past trying to give me some motivation in my mind, saying like, hey motherfucker, you're in no condition right now to take care of this family because you're fucking too heavy. You ain't gonna be able to do shit. So that's why I'm like, fuck. You know what I mean? So those moments happen quite often when I'm like, trying to work out and stuff like that. Yeah.
Interesting.
That's crazy, right?
No, I mean, that makes sense.
It makes
that
sense.
That kind of makes sense.
Yeah, I hope it does.
Definitely.
The whole time I'm like thinking like I'm crazy.
Whether it's makes, it's
Yeah.
okay. Yeah, don't be shy to be, I guess, weird, because everybody is kind of.
No. Don't get me wrong. I don't give a fuck about
Yeah.
whatever another person thinks about me. But I do care about like what's going in my head. What's going on in my head, and sometimes I do think it's a little crazy, but sometimes it's like I tell myself like, nah, well, it's normal. You start thinking about the past and you're like, hey, we used to be warriors.
Yeah.
We used to hunt. We used to fight. We used to survive. And so.
And when like our bodies, physical bodies, and our instincts still haven't adapted to this new reality where you don't have to do that anymore, right?
Yeah.
But at the same time, this reality that is right now, it's also like super fragile. At any time, anything could go wrong, and we can be back to those realities that our ancestors were, right?
I hope not. I mean, I hope because that's only killing the what we already.
But you think this whole economy, this thing is not fragile?
Yeah.
It's super
Yeah.
fragile, I think.
Super right
It's
now,
like it's like
especially.
like house of cards.
Yeah.
At any time, it could go all crumbling down.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Imagine like a big freaking tsunami or
Yeah,
like a super crazy.
But you're already talking about millions of people dying, because of certain things like that.
Yeah.
Like
Don't you think that's
super
that's a
depression.
possibility?
Yeah, there's tons of possibilities of that happening, and it's a little scary. But I mean, who's the people that are gonna survive? Definitely not me.
You don't think so?
In a physical world, no. In a mental world, yes. I know I could do a lot to secure my family's safety.
Maybe
I'm very quick to thinking about.
maybe you're already like predisposed to survive because you're gathering that fat in order when things get tough, you'll be able to use
so
that energy.
I won't be able to. I would be able. Your neighbor was saying, "Look, I'm fasting. I wanted to fast for 75 hours, but I only did 60." I'm like, "Honey, man, I could do a week.
Yeah.
I could do way more than that just because my body will able to survive."
Yeah, I did 15. You remember?
Yeah.
I did 15 days. So
Wait, what?
I did 15 days on water.
Shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
Really? How much weight did you lose?
I was 234, and 234, 236, and I went all the way down to 192, I think.
192. The crazy things your body are able to.
Yeah, that's and then after that fasting, my understanding before about fasting, about eating food every day changed, because before it was this just kind of idea, right? So you have to eat every day, you have to eat 3 times a day,
Yeah, no, that's
and
bullshit.
stuff like that, right?
Yep, I agree.
And it's across the board. Everybody almost like almost the whole civilized world believes in that.
It's pleasure. It's pleasure. Kenzie today got mad at me because I'm always very sexual with her, I'm always been like that. I hug people. I tell my mom and my brother and my sister, my cousin, my aunt, everyone, I love you, I'm very emotionally
Loving.
I
Loving
show my
person.
emotions, and so I told my where was I going with this?
About that food that.
Oh yeah. So food. Yeah. When I told Kenzie today, Kenzie got mad at me today, and she got mad at me because I was saying, "Hey, baby, are you gonna lay with me today?" Blah 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 blah. You know, and or I think I told her, "Babe, I had a crazy dream," and it was just a stupid
Yeah,
joke,
yeah.
just between us two. You know, like I had a crazy dream, baby. I thought we were having pornographic sex in my dream and blah blah blah, you know. And she
Okay.
started laughing. No, she started getting mad, and I started laughing. Because for me, it's funny. Our differences in comedy is so different, right?
Okay.
For me, I thought I was saying a joke. For
Yeah.
her, she thought I was pushing her for me to have sex with her, you know. But that's not the case. That's not the case. That wasn't the case. And she's like,
Yeah.
Hector. When she's mad at me, she calls
Yeah.
me Hector.
Ah,
When she's cool, she calls me babe.
Okay.
She's like, Hector, you're always thinking about food and sex. And I'm like, baby, but those are the only two pleasures in the world, in humanity. This is the biggest pleasures in the world, and taking a shit. But I mean, you know. But I mean, going to your point, like, dude, going to the point of fasting, like, freaking, eating is not something that we need so much. You know, our bodies don't need 1,400 calories daily or
Every day.
2,000.
Yeah,
What
yeah,
is
yeah.
it? 2,000 calories a day. You know,
Yeah.
in reality, we don't need that. We're most of like 80% of if you draw a circle, 5 mile circle, 5 mile circle, or 10 or 100, 80% of us are sitting on our ass working, or doing something with mechanics or groceries, you know, something. But it's not something where you waste a lot of energy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like hunting and hiking
Running
and
miles,
running
right?
miles
Hunting.
to catch up on things that you shot, right?
That's gonna be your food for the next I don't know how many
A
days.
freaking month, whatever, you know. So 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 we eat because it's a pleasure for us to eat. We made these crazy. I mean, Mexicans have these dishes that have like plus 40 different ingredients.
Yeah.
Why is that? It's just a fucking pleasure.
Hmm.
It's not because we need to cook 24 hours for this dish for us to be satisfied with the calories that we eat, because we need the energy. No, it's just simple pleasure. I think the only other mammal that
It's for
does that.
pleasure.
No, that enjoys its pleasures, which is for them is sex, is a dolphin.
Okay. Yeah, I've heard it's more than that. A lot more species that scientists are discovering that do that for pleasure. So.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh shit! Yeah, because I think the killer whales kill for fun.
For fun, huh?
Yeah, something like that I heard in somewhere.
Yeah, man. The nature is also weird, right?
Yeah.
It could go like either way.
Yeah.
It's not always, following. I guess it's always following patterns, but those patterns, like being weird and doing something for fun and stuff, is also included to those, patterns.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's like that's why I think that there's no such thing as that we live in a simulation. You
Okay.
know what I mean? Because I mean, come on. Oh, you know what? I'm not even.
Yeah,
Fuck that.
that's
a
like
different-
that's something that your mind is just refuses to accept, right?
Yeah.
Pretty much,
Why?
because like
It's not
the
a-
idea of like something controlling you.
We would never be able to understand. No, we cannot know as of right now. It's just a possibility. It's
Yeah.
not. It's not a concrete answer
Yeah.
of nothing. You know what I
Definitely.
mean? So, yeah, whatever.
But it's still that idea kind of like scratches, like
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
just
yeah,
like
yeah.
itches, right?
But I
Itches.
refuse to go into that rabbit hole. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want
But
to
it's
go.
still there sometimes, like
Yeah.
especially when you see those weird signs, right? Like there's like not normal, out of the ordinary signs, like and it's like like
Oh, the
deja vu.
signs.
Yeah, the signs.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
I don't know,
Yeah,
for some reason, I don't know. Also, the native people or Kazakh people are where we I don't know whether we chose to live that lifestyle, just to believe in all those mystical signs and stuff like that.
Yeah.
That's how, like, if you open yourself to those that kind of life, that kind of life opens up to you as well, and you start seeing stuff. And I think it's also happens here too with the native cultures as well. And I think like the Western culture, they said, no, we're focusing on money. We're focusing on materialism because it works, and we can agree. Everybody can agree upon it because it all works every time. When in fact, like the mystical stuff, some people are able to see some mystical stuff. Some others are not able. It's not material. You cannot touch it. You cannot measure it.
When La Pinta, La Quinta, I forgot the names. La Santa Maria, the three ships that landed in America. With Christopher Columbus and everything. They talked to the natives, right?
Yeah.
And they were searching for gold, right? And they told the natives, we want gold. Where we want this, They obviously they didn't know the language, but they said we want this, right? The gold. And according to history, the natives went to go grab it and came back, and the natives, their most precious thing, they wanted to give to Christopher Columbus and everything, and it was corn. But Christopher Columbus and his posse, whatever, came saying like, no, we want this, we want gold, we want this material.
And the natives
And the
probably
natives like,
didn't.
we
Like,
don't
what
give a
the
fuck about
are you
gold.
talking about? Yeah.
Here's our gold,
Yeah,
which
yeah.
was corn.
Yeah. More important.
Which makes sense to what you're saying historically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because like it's just the choice. I think when you choose to, I guess, live with the nature and in the harmony with it,
Yeah.
you get to, I guess, see certain patterns, and you get to exposed to certain things that maybe not obvious when you are strictly, materialistic and just focus on those things, and you just choose. And it's also like this thing. It works, Materialism just works. Like compared to others, materialism, it's easy. It's like 1 + 1 2. It's like mathematics. It's like you can always measure things, measure, and it works. And everybody, just like as a community, chooses. Okay, we're gonna live like that, and no bullshit. Mysticism and that stuff. We deny that, and I think when like a lot of brains just focus on this one thing, it it manifests and it works. But in our cultures, we do it differently. We just like believe in all kinds of mystery shit, and a lot of mystery shit happens to us.
Yeah, but it's all based in
like Kenzie would say, like she sees a freaking white horse, like a person, like a prince in a white horse. She just sees it because she's like in those frequencies kind of deal. Like she's basically like adjusted like to that channel.
You're talking about
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know what you mean now. I get it.
I can't. I don't even want to start like how many different signs I see sometimes, and it's just like coincidences and stuff like that. Like
So
when she said
you're
about,
religious.
I'm not religious. I'm more like religion, in my understanding, is like institutions.
What do you mean institution?
Developed to control, populations, bigger populations.
Ah,
That's what I understand by religion.
okay.
I'm more of a.
You believe that there's a high power.
I believe in God, but I don't believe in these institutions.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
That's a good way to see it.
I would say maybe more spiritual.
Yeah.
That's maybe the closer. Even though I'm not 100% sure whether it's a defined definition, but spiritual is more fits more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what makes sense to
Yeah,
you.
yeah, yeah. That's what makes sense to me. Yeah.
Yeah.
And like the nature, and then seeing patterns in the nature, just living life, and materialism works. No doubt about that. Respect, to people who mastered the art of, materialism.
Yeah. Well, at the end of the day, like we trade things to get some type of benefit from what we're getting, right? And
Yeah, and you can
quantify.
quantify it by measuring,
Yeah.
money and stuff
Yeah.
like that. So
Yeah, and it makes
it kind of
sense.
it makes sense, it makes
Yeah.
sense. Yeah, but I guess my passions, my interests, not lay in materialism.
Yeah.
I'm just not that. I can do it. I guess I can do it. I can achieve things, but it never was super. It was never the goal.
What satisfies you is what you are able to, like right now, podcasting. Like that motivates you to
Yeah.
to go on
Yeah.
for like the weekend. Besides work, besides doing things, what motivates you in life? And
Like try to understand as much as I possibly can understand it. Yeah, and I'm willing to accept, a lot of things. And as far as podcasts go, I think it's just being able to express yourself, because it's not easy. I would say it's not easy being able to express yourself completely. Like the one phrase Bruce Lee said back in the day in the interview, he's like, totally and completely to express oneself is very hard.
yeah, yeah,
And I'm just practicing.
yeah,
Trying to, like, there is something inside that wants to come out. But when you do it in your brain, you allow everything goes, right?
I think,
But when you do it in the mic and when you voice it out, it may come out not differently,
and you might suppress things that you want to say, and I give you props for starting this, because it makes me think as well that maybe this is something that more people should do, to understand, to take a dive into your past, into your life, into your wife's life, into whoever's life, because we all have a voice, but we're restricted from voicing ourselves.
Yes.
In our daily life,
And
we're
also, like,
restricted.
the way I was brought up, like my parents used to say, don't say.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
the what is it called? Censorship.
Yeah.
Especially from
Yeah.
past Soviet Union, people were just were brought up like this. You're not supposed to say it.
Absolutely.
While here, you can exercise in expressing yourself.
Yeah.
At least try to exercise.
And that's important, because it helps us cut the chains, or the mistakes that our parents did.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And give an opportunity for your kids to not have the same chains that we had in our past.
Able to, they say, like, one of the, like, hardest and the worst censorship is self-censorship.
Yep.
When not someone, like, censors you, when you censor yourself.
Yeah.
That's the problem, because there is something inside you that wants to say, but you're not able to say it.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and also I think there are some wild thoughts, right, in everybody's head.
Yeah.
Probably, if you start expressing them, it could go crazy, and the community may not understand you,
or may not accept it.
Yeah, may accept it, and that means, like, it doesn't make any difference at the same time. But there are some things that you might want to be able to share that potentially might maybe help or be
there's
inspiring,
there's
or
there's I've been in situations where I hear stories that are so fucked up or so it hurts me. You know, it hurts me to even listen to it, to accept that this is reality and this is what humans are capable of doing to other humans. You know, and I met people, and I'm telling you, one of the best things you can do to overcome this violence or this addiction of whatever is to express yourself, is to talk about it, is to listen to your peer telling a story and you tell the story back to him.
yeah,
You know what I mean? And say your regrets and whatever. Basically taking a dive into your past and expressing it.
yep. Trying
One
to
of the biggest cures.
Yep, trying
because
to be able to say
because it's like you said, you grew up when the Soviet Union was still, you know, still there. And the culture back then was very tough and very machista, you know. Machista means men are on the top and women are at the bottom, and whatever men say, men goes, and you don't cry if you get hurt. You don't express yourself. You don't say certain things. You blah 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 blah. Right. So that's machismo.
But
Machismo kind of
that's
like
a very
in a way.
recent thing, you know, that Kazakh women used to be warriors back in the day, like Amazonka warriors. It was before that
Yeah,
whole
but
thing.
I mean,
happened.
I'm just saying, I'm just trying to get to a point where, like,
Have you
one
heard
of the biggest cures for everything is that.
Have you heard
that's
of
what I'm saying.
Tamiris? There was a ruler of like the Kazakh, you know, steppe. Her name was Tamiris. It was a woman.
Oh no shit!
So it was no problem to have a woman as a ruler before.
Wow.
So something changed, you know. So some people came, some people
Priorities changed.
priorities changed.
Materialism changed.
Yes.
Think about the Kazakh people during the Silk Road. In the Silk Road, they never had one place to live.
Yeah.
They lived all over Kazakhstan, you know, and they moved depending on where the cattle or where the food was, right? They didn't stay in one place and cultivated and made farms and set at one place.
Maybe.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, but something changed. But there used to be like women had
Yeah.
almost similar rights, you know. Like
Well, well, think about it. When you're moving from one camp to another camp, maybe miles from I mean, cities and whatever, right? You meet another group of people. What are you gonna do? You're gonna either fight,
yeah,
or tell them to hey, give me your stuff.
Yep.
Because we're hungry, you know. And the women and men fought together.
Yep.
You know, whoever won.
Similar thing happened to Vikings too. I think Viking
Oh,
woman.
the Vikings, the Vikings had their women and their men fighting together, right?
Yeah. So we had similar thing pretty much, but the recent thing became somehow those dynamics changed because we shifted to a different lifestyle. Before, when we lived at like closer to the nature, it was not natural, I would say, just belittling and trying to impose your power
I don't
or
think
something like that.
I don't think always women were, warriors. But again, I'm just talking out of my ass because I'm not a historian.
Yeah,
or
me too.
anything. But I think that women at one point were just women that took care of whatever's in the house, whatever's in their area, and while men did the fighting and stuff like that. But 90% of the world, I would think. But to what you're saying, now that I'm really thinking about things and not just spitting out words, like, yeah, you're right. Women were warriors back in the days, the same as men, and were capable of almost the same things. And of course, not the same type of power that men have, but definitely some interesting stuff.
For example, in I think it was in Brazil, somewhere down there, where women are there's a what is it called? There's a parade that is meant for women only, but women that are prostitutes, because one of the things that
Where
women,
in Brazil?
somewhere in Brazil, I don't remember.
Okay.
Because women, when Brazil was invaded, right, and the women fought with the men, right, but they didn't fight, head first, right. What happened was that the invaders won that battle, right, and what won the war was the prostitutes, because all prostitutes got together.
Okay.
And when the men came and they wanted to pay the women for sex, they the women had sex with the men, but when they were asleep,
Dude,
they killed them.
You tell the wildest stories.
They
man.
killed them. Soldiers, thousands of them. Just think about it.
Yeah.
Panocha fucking won the war. Panocha means pussy.
Yeah.
Think about that.
Yeah.
Isn't that's why there's a parade for women alone that are prostitutes?
I won't be
Isn't that
surprised,
crazy?
man.
Isn't that crazy?
That's smart.
That's fucking, that's intense. I'll be one of the first people that died.
Oh my god.
I hope my wife doesn't listen to this. Oh, man. This is
Sometimes,
crazy.
dude, you come up with some crazy shit.
All right.
That's funny though. That's cool. Yeah, should we wrap this up?
Yeah, dude.
Yeah. All
Thank
right.
you for having
Thanks
me.
for your time. It was like really, really cool. Like I like the way that this went. Was easy. We didn't have to, wind things up. It just started from the get go.
That's what it's all about, man.
That's
Thank you.
like I feel like we're doing this like for the 10th times already.
Dude,
even though it was the first time.
We're gonna go home and we're gonna still be talking about this shit.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
So it's normal.
Which is good.
Arriba Kazakhstan, let's go.
Arriba Mexico.
There
I
you
seen that president's speech. He was saying some crazy stuff. I didn't understand him, but the way he
He said it with his balls hanging out.
I was like, I feel like some leader, like some crazy vibes, and the people just go, wow. This is some crazy shit, man. I don't know, like this is scary. When I see this kind of stuff, I'm like, I've seen this before, and when I seen those, some crazy shit used to happen back then. And I get those vibes from there.
Yeah.
I didn't get those vibes for a long time when the leader
Yeah.
just addresses like thousands of people and just goes, Viva Mexico! Viva Mexico! Yeah. Woo, energy is crazy.
Beautiful.
And those people are just like, you can tell there's like
Oh
this.
fuck yeah. We were all warriors, man.
Yeah,
we were all warriors.
man.
Yeah.
Just you can tell like.
Yep.
All right, man. All right, bye, man. Take care.
Peace.